Welcome, everybody, to this edition of Attention Talk Video. I'm your host, ADHD and attention coach, Jeff Copper. Today, I want to talk about that feeling of unproductive, or not being productive. A lot of times I get people saying, I don't feel very productive. I don't feel very productive. The thing about feeling productive is sometimes you have to go back and say, well, what did I actually do? And take a look at it with a factual type lens, not so much a feeling type lens. And I find people are often a hell of a lot more productive than how they feel. And I want to give a few specific situations. Number one, I've had those days where just things fall into place and I close things out. Maybe somebody got back to me on something, a decision was made, we schedule something, and my to-do list just goes from this big pile, just all of a sudden, wow, that's incredible. And other days, I feel like I've been working all day and nothing's kind of getting done, and it just doesn't feel productive. The thing about this is often there's things that you got to do in order to have that stuff taken care of to be productive, or you're going through the process of trying to make a decision. You're not able to get all the information that you need. You're still trying to get the information, but you don't have it yet. And so when you have that decision that it feels productive. Other times, people will sit down, and particularly if they've got to do something. I'll never forget, there was an individual I was working with that had to write. And he was like, I don't feel very productive because the thing that he would do for a job, it'd take him like 2 hours. And in talking to him, there was about 90 minutes of just brainstorming or daydreaming and stuff for him to figure out what it was that he was going to write for this particular thing that he does. That 90 minutes of just staring into space and thinking didn't feel very productive. The 30 minutes writing felt very productive, but the thing about it is you couldn't get to the 30 minutes unless you went through the 90 minutes. It's a part of the process. And so often feeling productive is the final product, the outcome, but often people don't think about what goes into that. And the purpose of this video is to illuminate that, because a lot of times people will come in very judgmentally saying they don't feel very productive because they don't have a lot of tangible things that they can point to and say, I got that done today. Yet, in order to get to those things, sometimes you've got to do a lot of other things that are more intangible in order to get there. Why is this important? Well, if you're walking around saying, I don't feel very productive, and beating yourself up, you spend more emotional energy and more stuff going around in circles than you do trying to apply what you're trying to get done. So one of the keys really is if you feel unproductive, go back and look at the specifics of what you did. If you didn't get anything done today because you were searching YouTube or doom scrolling, well, maybe that wasn't very productive. However, I've had some days where I was searching on Google or other things because I'm looking for ideas. They weren't productive because I didn't find all the ideas, but I found a lot of good ideas on the internet or YouTube before because I was looking for them that particular day. So you have to really have a context of what's going on. And the key really is to stop beating you up. Just because you feel unproductive doesn't mean that you are actually unproductive. And it doesn't do any good for you to beat yourself up on it. So I hope that's giving you some insight and some food for thought. If you're new to this channel, please hit subscribe. If you've been an existing viewer, comments, thoughts, what do you think? Also, we do what we do for you. We certainly appreciate any contribution in terms of thanks button to kind of help us do what we do. It's certainly motivational, kind of helps us keep the lights on, if you will. So with that, we hope you've enjoyed this edition of Attention Talk Video. Take care.